everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph, and today, well, I just want to talk to you about some issues that I had over the winter. And I just want to say that everybody has some sort of issues when it comes to bonsai, whether you're a beginner or an expert, just getting into the hobby, or you've been doing it for years. Sometimes you'll come a cropper, and well, sometimes, well, it's not your fault. And in this case, it sort of is my fault, but at the same time, it's not my fault. You see, as we all know, I moved into this property. I've been here 2 years now, and in the 2 years, I've been renovating the property, inside and out. Although the outside hasn't really gone as quickly as I would like it, obviously because of the funds. But today, it's not because of the outside, it's because of the inside. See, I've got what I called my plant room. See, the rest of the house, we've been managing to get by. We're doing it as quick as we can, and it's pretty much done. Now the plant room on the other hand is due to be done at the end of August in September. So last year I managed to get all my tropicals in there and it survived no problems. Now the issue with the plant room is it's got a leaky roof, it's got big gaps in the roof in the side, so air comes and circulates through it. It's got a big vent as well, it opens and closes through bad weather, so circulates cold air through there as well. And on top of that, it's not heated. Last year the weather wasn't so extreme that any of my trees suffered at all, although this year we got pretty extreme conditions. Now don't get me wrong, I know some of you live in Canada and places like that, and you think, wow, especially like the likes of Niger Saunders where it gets down to like minus God knows whatever conditions that I could never even dream of living in. But the point is, we've had like -2, -4, and for those few days, and again later on, it got back to those sort of conditions. It got really cold in the plant room, and I've got nowhere else and no other option to protect my trees. And obviously they've got lights on in there, which sort of keeps conditions warm. But some of my trees got a bit of a cold snap, a bit of a cold freeze, and obviously tropical conditions that they should be in, or semi-tropical, because obviously I let it go to a cooler condition because it's unheated, and it goes into like a semi-dormancy for them, so they go into it's like a sleep paralysis sort of thing. Some of them I've lost pretty much all the leaves, and anyway, let me just show you. Let me clear this bench here. Let me put them on and I'll just show you and I'll continue talking. As you can see, doesn't look good. Anyway, let's go into these in a little bit more detail and I'll give you a proper look in depth in a second. So, the one in the middle is my fusion ficus. I've been growing this, I don't know, for 5 or 6 years. This is my biggest and my best ficus. As you can see the detail in it. Every branch on this tree has died. I did a scratch test. Most of it is dead. The trunk itself is still alive. Now the question is, even though it's live, you've got to think the trunk section is made up of several different trees. Which one's alive? Are they all alive? I don't know. So, in terms of all of these anyway, right, I am looking after these. They are now still in the plant room. Now the plant room, with the weather turning, is still really hot and humid. So they are getting plenty of water, plenty of fertilizer. So I am using my liquid seaweed fertilizer at the moment. I've not put proper fertilizer on it, just liquid fertilizer at the moment. I don't want to stress the tree out too much at the moment, but as you can see, my main issue with this tree is it is a Benjaminer. Okay, so Benjaminers, if you know anything about these, this one here is a Benjaminer as well. You can see half of it has died off. Okay, once you lose your green at the ends, okay, if you cut, okay, let me just take it back. If you're trimming a Benjaminer, okay, and if you cut off your leaf at the end, you're going to lose that branch, okay? I've lost all my leaves at the end. Hence, I've pretty much lost all them branches. So they are completely and utterly useless to me now. So that's gone. So if this tree does actually survive, I am started with somewhat of a trunk, and I'm pretty sure that this trunk line to about here, looking at it, is still dying back. Okay, so I'm hoping it doesn't die back too far, and I might get it to somewhere here, which means I'm hopefully going to keep this trunk line to here, the fat base, and I'm going to have to regrow all the branches. That's if it survives. If it survives, but I'm not 100% convinced it's going to. So I may just have a nice pot out of this, which means, unfortunately, that's about, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe even 7 years of bonsai fusion technique down the drain, which I'd say is my fault, but unfortunately it sort of isn't my fault, because we moved to this house to make my life and bonsai better. Just so happens that the plant room that is supposed to make my life better is unfortunately not the greatest right now. And on that note, I think the other trees that I do have survived, tropical wise, I think I've come to a decision with everything, which I will go into later on. But yeah, so that's this one. I'm hoping it does recover, because I don't really want to lose my best out of the lot in terms of what I feel is my best, and it's the one that's more precious to me. I've worked hard experimenting with that. Okay, the other Benjamina, that if you remember, let me just twist that way to you. This one, if you remember, this is the one that we did the smelly roots on. It pretty much lost half of its leaves, but luckily enough, right at the tips on this side here, the majority of it actually kept some leaves, and it is growing back, where the other side of it actually has still got its leaves. So it's not completely dead. At least one side is alive, and then some of the branches have died off, at least, I don't know, 50%. Some of them are growing back. So I think as long as I can completely look after it, keep them hot, humid, and they'll be in the house for the time being, and then out when the sun is out, and then back in and out, and then eventually when it is nice and hot all the way through, and then at night as well, or the temperature stay at 12 degrees, polytunnel it as well. That will at least survive and recover. I should be all right. In terms of the rescue ficus down here project, I've still been doing the same situation, and I've got loads of little buds popping out on this one, so that is fine and recovering nice and healthy. I've got down on this section again, as soon as I had this little chat, I'll show you in great detail. We'll zoom in. I've got this little one which was just a cut in, so I'm not too concerned about this one. If it dies or lives, I'm not bothered. I mean, it would be a loss because it's a tree at the end of the day, but I've not got any time and effort into it. But this was a twin trunk fusion. I've got it tied up at the bottom. I think the one on the right, these sections have all died off, as you can see. I think it's died back. I'm not sure if this bit's live. I've not checked. I'm not too concerned. I'm not bothered in terms of that aspect. But I've got new shoots right at the base here. I don't know if you can see on this camera angle, but don't be too concerned. I'll show you in a minute. I'll give you a zoom and everything. I've got 2 shoots growing, so I'm happy. Although the second tree trunk, I don't have any. Oh, in fact, I'll get you out. There you go. Got some shoots. But this one here, it looks like it might be dead. So the idea of fusing them two together at the bottom and growing off this one and having a tall one hasn't developed. Alright, I've actually got some more shoots. I've got another one there, another bud there, and it looks like I've got a bud there, but I haven't got anything on this one just yet. So yeah, if that doesn't go as planned, I might have to just take that out. But yeah, you can see that's completely dead. And then just at the bottom here, I can't even remember what this is called. Some gum. It's some variety of gum tree. I can't even remember. But as you can see, the most of the tree has actually been shot so bad. I've got a couple of buds growing up top here. What you can see. It is still alive, but it has gone pretty bad. So just on the other side of the leaf, I've got a little bud, and then it looks like pretty much everything else on the tree has died right back. I've got these are still really healthy, and I've got this little tip here as well. So it looks like everything else is going to have to be cut off, and then hopefully the tree will bud out on the main branch, on the main tree line itself, and we have to regrow everything. So that's if it survives. But we've got something up top here and just something here, so you never know. And then the main project at the back over this side. So let me just spin you around this way like this. Plonk you right here. You can see this was my pagoda. Sorry for the motorbike noise. This was the project 2.0 project, because if you remember, it was originally done with a larch, and then we went back to it and we did ta-da, the tigerbark ficus. Hasn't really gone as planned because obviously the freezing, so it might even end up 3.0 at this rate. But everything has died back except we have a little bit of growth right at the bottom down here. So at least the main tree in this square of the pagoda is still alive. If you remember, I just said I stuck them in the back to do extras. Ants everywhere. Extras to give a bit of focal point away and make it look like it is a tree inside. God, what was the ficus wrapped around in the temple called? Oh my god, every time I try this I always forget. But that was we were going for. We were going for the temple, the ficus in the temples, if you remember, and that was the trick. We wanted to do this one, and then I wanted to eventually get these ones to sort of grow over. But if they die off, it's not too much of a concern really. It was just mainly this one. But if it dies off completely and I start with this one, it sort of defeats the point of the whole temple planting. So yeah, might have to take it out and do 3.0. But if that's the case, I'm just gonna, I think I'll just give up with it, because I'll tell you why. Right, okay, so my idea anyway with the conservatory slash plant room, okay? So we're having it done in the end of August. It's all planned in. We're having it renovated, so new roof, new windows, new door. It's all being plastered inside, so it's going to be completely done. And then we've got the tiles and everything for the floor. It's all going to be redone. I am putting all but a handful of tropicals up for sale. Okay, so they are all good. Obviously not these ones, because I'll just look at them. I mean, that one's recovering quite nicely, so that'll end up going up for sale. But all my other trees, which are, do you know what? Let me just. Okay, all my other tropicals, which I've got here. I think I'm just going to keep the Sarissa and this one, probably that one. Okay, which are the Buddha pine. I'm going to keep the triple trunk and the triple trunk and the small Chinese plum. I think I'll keep them too. And obviously I'm going to keep, I may as well just walk over and show you anyway. Boom, 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 boom. You're still on a tripod, by the way, so this is going to be a bit awkward. I am going to keep as well, which I've got in here, my, well, you can see pomegranate, which is this one, still tall here. And then I've got a lemon, and I love a lemon up there. In fact, I might even sell those as well. So I think I'm going to just move on all my tropicals. So Sarissa, the two plums, possibly one ficus, which might be my project. Yeah, so I'm just going to put them all up for sale. I think I've had enough of tropicals. And then I've also, so there it is. That's the indoor area. So I've told the missus she can have it as a utility room. I've just had enough of tropicals, to be fair. So yeah, so let's take a pew, let's sit back down. I sort of had enough for tropicals. I want to concentrate predominantly on my outdoor area, which is this section here. Okay, so in the next few weeks, when the weather actually, sun's come out, when the weather actually turns properly like this, the benches are going to go out. Okay, so the benches are going to go out. I'm going to put all my trees out there properly. I'm going to display them. I want to concentrate on getting my trees the best quality as they can get, and develop them as properly as I can, and just get them displayed over there. And then the polytunnel as well is actually done. It's sunk in the ground, so that'll stay for the next year or two until the greenhouse can be done. Obviously the greenhouse can't be done because I'll be doing the rest of the house is pretty much finished. It's just a case of getting the not so plant room anymore. Okay, so I want to concentrate on getting the outside of the area a bit done. These trees, this one, once I get it recovered, it's going to go to my sister-in-law. She wants it as an indoor house plant, so I'm going to repot it, get it back to how it should be, and then house plant it for her. And then if these recover, I will be moving them on and selling them, although I'm not too confident with this one. Okay, so my trees are all up for sale, tropical ones that is, and then I want to concentrate on developing what I've got. I'm also selling a couple of the other ones as well. I've got lots that are in development, some younger trees, so I'll be moving some of those on as well, and then concentrating on getting some, that bites back, sorry, concentrating on getting some better material to work with as well, from like the likes of Penkirk, the likes of Birmingham Bonsai, and I'm also I think Sean's got me a triple, I don't know if it's a triple trunk actually, or a twin trunk, no, twin trunk, sorry, or a twin, come on, speak, twin larch as well, which is a quite well developed tree as well. So I just want to concentrate on getting some really well developed trees at the minute and increasing my collection that way. Yeah, so 1 second. Well, basically I want to move on to stuff, although this trunk isn't very thick, I want my trees to start looking and developing like that. I want to spend the time doing that. Yo, I'm back. So let me show you exactly what these look like. Pretty much died back everywhere. I'm gonna have to cut these branches off, I think. The only living bit is just this section here. I've got a bit just here which is hanging on for dear life, and then just at the top where I said I've got, if I just spin it around there, we've got this branch here, and then I've got a small bud developing on the left side. So everything else with a cold snap, let's go. So if I just pop that to one side and we move into this, so as you can see, it doesn't look good. All the trees, ficus wise, all the leaves just went crunchy like this on every one of these trees. Okay, and it didn't just happen to these, it also happened to my I'll go over here. It also happened to this one. Okay, it also happened to this, but as you can see, these ones have recovered quite nicely. Okay, it also happened to my windswept. So as you can see, this is now, oh, there you go. It's now recovering nicely, but I lost all of this section because this is all like that. I've still got bits at the end, as you can see. So I had to pull all that off, and that started recovering. Okay, so let's go back over here. So all of these ones, I've got no green shoots left. The only thing I've got is this main tree. You can see I've got that one green shoot. I don't have any other buds on this as of yet, but you can see. You move on to this little one down at the bottom. That's exactly how all the other trees look like. Look, just look how crunchy they are. And as soon as they end like that, I just pull them off. But we've got little buds shooting on this one. Now, as I say, this really is just a cut-in, and I wire these both together. I wanted to do like a twin planting. Now this is my Fusion. So it doesn't look as big on screen because I've got you on wide angle. So if I just put you in, there you go. This is the normal lens, so it looks a bit thicker. And if I put so this is my fist next to it. So it's a little bit thinner than my fist. Oh, there you go. It's about this, that's my arm going down on it, so it's about as wide, almost as wide as my fist. And you can just see how nice this tree would have been. Let me just put you back on the wide lens, and you can just see. Let me just shuffle that over. All the branches on it, how detailed it was. And I've lost every one of those branches. In fact, to prove a point, let me just go ahead. There you go. Look at the state of it. No green in there whatsoever. So that's a shame. This one, you can see I've got lots of buds regrowing everywhere on the trunk, which is good because I kept all of these back in the plant room, and because over the last few weeks we've had nice hot weather throughout the day, it's been nice and humid. I've kept the trays that they've been in, because obviously I water them, and then they're in trays as well underneath to drain the water. I keep the trays watered, so as it gets hot, it's nice and humid, so they're regrowing all the buds. And then this one, as I say, so this side is okay. This side we lost a lot of the leaves. You can see they're all munched and crunched, but you can see just the tips are now restarting to shoot. You can see the green bits, but not on every branch, so I've lost a few of the branches. But I'm quite happy to say we are getting some new shoots over the tree. So in a couple of weeks, this one shouldn't be too bad. Should be able to grow some new branches, new shoots. Once we work out what we've got, I'll clip off the old branches that are dead, and then in the late spring, early summer, because we're coming up to summer not too far off, I'll get it in a bigger pot, and then I'm going to give it my sister-in-law because she wants a house plant, and then we'll let that recover in the house, nice and warm. Yeah, and she can have a nice house plant because it will recover nicely. And these were fine, actually. I think this was fine because it was in a tray, and it's like a forest. So we've got, but yeah, that's what happens when you get cold snap with your ficus. So try and make sure you protect your ficus as much as you can, I suppose. Well, that's this year's tragic story, I guess. I hope you don't have one, but if you do, I hope you recover from it, because I'm pretty sure this one will recover. I'm pretty sure this one's not going to recover, and I'm pretty sure that one's going to recover. Well, this little one down here, who knows? That one's definitely recover, and this one should be okay as well. But unfortunately, I'm going to lose one of my better, more established trees, which just got to take it on the chin, I guess. It is what it is. But anyway, if you like seeing, well, nobody's going to like seeing dead trees, so, but if you liked me being honest and brutal with what has happened, please do like the video and show me your sympathies by dropping a comment. And if you like everything I'm about, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Please leave your condolences down in the comment, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra!